Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. This is Ash versus Cash. I'm Ashley, aka Ash. You're probably wondering who Cash is, huh? We'll get on her thotty ass later. Welcome. I've actually been wanting to do a YouTube page for quite some time. I've had a couple of friends of mine suggest I do this, but I never really knew what kind of direction I wanted to take once I started. I didn't know if I wanted to do rants and raves or if I wanted to cover like celebrity topics / current events, or if I wanted to do reviews. So we might see a little bit of everything because after watching Claw's season premiere last night, three times. I love watching reviews on shows. I honestly watch more reviews on shows than I do the actual shows. But when it comes to Claws, I mean, you got your girls like you got Talisa Ray and Jimmy Pink, who have been covering and recapping since season 1, and they give amazing reviews. But I mean, you have a couple of newcomers, myself included, but you don't really see as much love for Claws on here as I feel like you should, because the show is fire. It is fire, from the fashions to the plot lines, the character development, the soundtrack. It's amazing. So, without further ado, I figured I'd, plug up my little raggedy Android and write me some notes on the third go around and get in on this action. So, without further ado, let's get started. So, we pick up pretty much, I want to say, a couple of weeks later, if not a month, after, everything died down in the season finale from, like, shootout at the amusement park, baby girl getting kidnapped. We pretty much, pick up a little bit after that. So it's a late night meeting going on at the nail shop, and Desna is bossed up something serious. Like, she is in there running motherfuckers, telling Uncle Daddy, hey, you need to be at this appointment in the morning. She's in here running numbers and everything, being like, hey, how come we're having not as much sales, but not a lot, we're not having sales, but what's up with this money? She is basically all in at this point, I want to say. I mean, she really much had no, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think she really had a choice. That was the only way she could get Jen's daughter back, was to pretty much, go all in and be in cahoots with the Russians, laundering this money. So after that, she has a quick little rendezvous with the Haitian doctor. And what is his name? Is it Duval? I'm not sure. I can never remember his name. I tried to make it a task to try to remember everybody's name before I did this, and I just can never remember his name. So if you're here watching and you're part of the Claws crew, please let me know down below what the damn Haitian doctor's name is, because it keeps slipping my mind. So after she gets her some good old Dr. Dick, she comes back home, she checks on Dean, and y'all know Dean ain't got no filter. I think he's autistic, if I'm not mistaken, and I really hope I'm not ignorant when I say this, but autistic people, they're smarter than the average bear. Okay, they're smarter than the average bear, and I'm calling myself an average bear. Like, they pick up on so much shit that you don't see. Like, you can sit there and think you got them sitting at the kids table and they don't know the grown folks business, but they know everything that's going on. They know everything, that's probably know more than what y'all think is going on. So we just get a cute little checkup with them. So they're still, she's still taking care of him and everything. So once we get to the shop, after we see Dean, kind of throwing some shade at Des and like, you said you was going to be making better choices and you're not making better choices, we cut back to the shop. Now, one thing that Jimmy Pink, I believe, said was that with this show, it's so much, even not just from this actual dialogue that's going on that you hear, but from the music that's playing in the background to a side glance or whatever, just the subtleties that are in there. You really have to go back and watch it twice. Hell, I was watching them twice last season, and I had to go ahead and do this a third time because it was just so much, and I'm gonna tell you how. So while we're in the shop, they're all in there. You know how it is when we have girl talk, oh, Desna, you got you a good old man, girl, you getting piped down, over there, just having girl talk, giving her hand clasp, getting her, getting the cheeks moist. And you can see Quiet Ann while I think she was doing a pedicure at the time. If anybody who watched last season, y'all remember that Quiet Ann pretty much had to throw her woman under the bus to save the crew. So, she's still hurting off of that, harping off of that. But you can see while they're sitting there kikiing with Desna about, her little new boo thing or whatever, you see Quiet Ann kind of giving side glances and just kind of mugging. So I love that, especially that it's Quiet Ann, because Quiet Ann never did say much in season 1, but when she said something, it stuck with you. She didn't speak unless she basically didn't speak unless she had, it was a very poignant point that she had to prove. I hope I said that right. My bumpkin ass, God. Anyway, so we can see that, everybody else is all hunky-dory and everybody's all peaches and cream, but she's got a little bit of resentment building up, I think, which I think we'll start to see as the season goes on. So I like that little subtle little side eye that they threw in there. I was like, yeah, she ain't doing all right. So, like I said, they're having cute little girl talk. Marnie's there, so we see that Polly's still taking care of Marnie. She's in there talking about dolphins with unicorn horns. I was like, baby, that's a narwhal. So in the midst of all the girl chatter and whatnot, everybody's like, hey, it's 11 o'clock. Roller's baby mama about to come. And when they said that, I was like, baby mama, like I literally waited until the commercial break to go back on Wikipedia and read the little synopsises of, that is not right. The the little plot, themes and everything to like run back the plots on the last couple episodes. Cause I'm like, baby mama, like, did I miss something? Like, I literally thought it was something in like last season that I missed because I didn't know nothing about Roller having no baby. So in the process of them announcing that the baby mama's on the way, they literally switched up the shop. Like, y'all remember on Barbershop, was it Barbershop 2? When like they tried to bougie up the place by putting in the like fancy ass uterus pictures and playing the little wind chime music. They switched all that up. Like when they knew that the baby mama was coming, they started putting out finger foods and watercress and sandwiches. They put on like bird sounds and spa music, and they put that picture of Trump with, I think was it Putin that they put a picture of, put a picture of Trump and Putin up on the wall. I was done. I was so done. So at this point, she shows up and, she's sitting there waiting, baby mama, her name is Olga, I believe. Yeah, Olga. We'll call her Olga. Olga shows up and, she kind of, does, everybody greets her and, she kind of takes her spot to, wait on what? We're not sure yet. So not long after that, Roller and Bryce comes in, and Bryce, oh my God. Bryce looks a fool. Bryce got this Pauly D haircut with the slashes going up the side. He got on the fake babe jacket like we all used to wear back in high school because our mamas would never go and buy us the real babe jacket, so they used to get us that one with the gold foil on. Bryce is dressed like the first day of school, freshman year. So we can already see how he done got all caught up in all of this and whatnot. So Roller and Bryce come in and, Desmond's like, Roller, you not going to speak to your baby mama? And Roller looks over and looks at her and she's like, ain't nobody got time for that. He paid Olga dust, just paid it. So she looked a little hurt. So anybody wondering like if Olga is of age? Because that's one thing about Claws. Claws will give you so much, but then they'll still like give you like keep enough open for you to kind of keep guessing and thinking you know what's going on until the big reveals come out and it's like, okay, I really didn't know shit. And so when I was looking at Olga, before I keep going, when I was looking at Olga, is she supposed to be underage or is she like 18? That just kind of gave me like, farmer's daughter, the farmer's daughter type of situation. Like, yeah, you knocked up my daughter fresh out of high school. I don't know. She just looked a little young. So I'm sure they'll elaborate on that. I don't know. I'm just probably jumping to conclusions. But you can't help but do that. They give you so much, but still let you leave so much to interpretation and to wonder until the next episode. So in the process of them showing up, Roller is like, Desmond, let's go to back. Let's come holler at me. So while they're on the way to the back, Jen comes up to Bryce because I guess, I didn't know if they were, I don't know why I couldn't remember if like they had like remedied everything. I probably should have binge watched like season 1 all over again just to make sure. So I had to keep running back a couple times because I forgot if they were like, we're going to work it out or anything like, or if they were going to stay separated. So clearly they're separated because, she's coming up trying to play nice on some, hey babe, I was just wondering when, you were going to drop the girls off, blase, blase. And he's all up in the phone on fuck boy shit like a motherfucker. Just, I already told you in the text what time I was coming. I was like, see, what? Like, ain't nobody about to go. Bryce is trying my nerves, and I was rooting for him last year. I think that's my problem. I was wanting them to try to, work it out and find love anew. But if he gonna be acting all like this, girl, just okay. Cause I was live tweeting last night when it actually premiered, and I was going to in the middle of this whole little dialogue between Bryce and Jen. I was like, why do they got him on here looking like Vanilla Ice? And I swear, right before I like hit the tweet, right when I was about to tweet that, Jen went ahead and called him Vanilla Bryce and stormed smooth off. I was done. I was like, she beat me to the punch because that is exactly what he looks like. He looks like freaking Vanilla Ice in a midlife crisis, like trying to, I don't know. It was funny. I just thought that was crazy. That was funny that I was about to say, he looked, I didn't say Vanilla Bryce. I was like Vanilla Ice, but still, it's funny. Okay. So, meanwhile, back in the office, we see Desna and Roller, having chit chats, and Roller's trying to get that old thing back. Roller trying to slide up in them cheeks one more time. Like Plot said, can I fuck one more time? Basically on some, you still with that pussy doctor. He called him the pussy doctor, bro. So, he over there trying to cop him a feel and trying to, get another choke session popping in the back like we saw in season 1. But, that's just like, basically on some, hey, man, like, no, that ship is sailed, woo, woo, woo. Gives him the money, was like, the money ain't gonna wash itself. Basically, like, she's coming into her own with this boss shit. And it's fucked up because y'all know she's gonna have to hurt some people. But I love to see it. I love seeing her like this. I love seeing her take over the boys club and being like, oh, no, yeah, see how it happens? See what happens now? Y'all fucked me over. Now I'm calling the shots. I love it. So we after they get done meeting, we see Bryce, because remember the rabbi that Jen was having the affair with, he runs the little community center in the same, I don't think they're next door to one another, but they're in the same shopping center, so we might as well call them neighbors. And basically storms up in there during the rabbi's little hillbilly jamboree class and basically tries to pick a fight with him. And so that basically proves, I was like, okay, so you trying to front. I should have known. Men do that all the time. They be trying to front like they ain't hurting. They on some ruthless shit. He hurting. But after that whole little scene at the little shopping center, we cut over to the clinic. And shit is in disarray like you wouldn't believe. You got old girl at the front of the counter talking about her fupa hurts. That shit was funny. I started dying. My boyfriend was like, what's a fupa? I was like, you don't know what a fupa is? I had to explain that to him. He didn't know what that was. But, basically the clinic is just, numbers ain't adding up. Scripts ain't being filled right. Money ain't being deposited because Roller and Bryce go to Dr. Ken's office with his neurotic ass. And Ken is in there with bags full of money like he just cashed out on the pole at KOD's, just trash bags full of ones, just trying to burn money. Like they got so much money, they literally have money to burn at this point. So he's back there trying to burn money, trying to burn all the evidence, because y'all already know he be in panic mode. He just goes in panic mode. He back there with a blowtorch and some more trying to burn up the damn money. Because deposits are not being made. So, with money just sitting there, it's hot. Y'all got this place hot. Y'all ain't showing up. He's like, y'all show, it'd be weeks after, it'd be weeks on end. Sometimes y'all don't show up. I'm like, damn. Because like I said, I think that the story is the plot is only supposed to continue. It's continuing like only a couple of weeks to a month after what we saw in the season finale. And still, I'm like, shit done crumbled. Like, Shit is all fucked up. Shit is all fucked up. Motherfuckers ain't doing their job. Motherfuckers skipping out. Just it's a lot going on. So after, you know, that whole little, you know, debacle at the damn clinic, we get over to Reva's house. And Reva's, we get over back, not Reva's house. We were at the shop, and Reva comes to the shop. That's what happened. Reva comes up to the, you know, to the shop and comes up to Desna, and she's like, we need to talk. So once they get to the back, she lets Desna know that, hey, basically you're about to be running the logistics of, you know, my drug business. I think she runs they run coke out of Shishi's, the strip club that we always see. So she's like, hey, you know, I need you to, not only do I need you to continue laundering this money, but I'm gonna need you to start getting your hands in the books with the coke. And so Desna ain't with it. Desna's not with it. Desna's like, you know what? We done already went through so much. Everything else, basically, this is the. I'm gonna stick to the rivers and lakes I agreed to. You know, I'm just gonna stick with what I agreed to. I never, you know, I'm not gonna do all of that. So after all, you know, Desna pretty much shuts her down. Reva's like, okay, well, I need you to stop by the nursing home. Desna's like, what nursing home? So at this point, you know, that leaves us hanging in the mist. We don't know what she's talking. Like, we're talking about we're all wondering what nursing home. So then Olga makes her exit, and Olga's my spirit. I always said Virginia's my spirit animal, but Olga might be my next spirit animal too, because when she walked out that shop and all the crew looked at her like, did you forgetting something? And she turned back around and she picked up that damn baby off the ground in the car seat and walked out. She was about to walk out the shop without the baby. That's why I don't have no kids. I feel like that's gonna be me in 10 years if I even decide to have one. Just be on the phone, be like, "Ooh, girl, let me call you back. I done left the baby on top of the car." That shit was funny. I don't give a damn. Be mad. The shit was hilarious because I'm negligent. Shit, I barely remember to feed my cats sometimes. But fast forward back to Uncle Daddy's house, and Uncle Daddy is coked the fuck out. Uncle Daddy over here sniffing coke. Got a whole, not a portrait of, because you know, you can do like portraits on nails. Not a portrait of, I don't remember his wife's name. I always called her Mama. I always called her Auntie Mama when I was watching the season 1. So I'm calling her Auntie Mama. He got Auntie Mama on a picture frame on his coke nail, just getting high. Like at the estate sale. And you can tell, that's why I loved about them, and I hate that Auntie Mama got killed in first season, because their relationship is so dysfunctional and chaotic and weird, but you can genuinely see that they still, even though Uncle Daddy got him a transgendered mistress, that was her man, that was his woman. You know, they still had that love and that bond despite all the, you know, craziness they had going on up in their household. So he's, you know, at her estate sale, you know, garage selling it out or whatever, arguing, about to fight kids because he ain't ready to part with none of, you know, her shit. Like, it was funny. It was sad. It was funny, but it was sad and sweet at the same time. Because, you know, you could tell he really loved that woman. So, you know, Desna shows up and she's on some drugs gotta be, you know, you gotta drop these drugs. Comes and tells Uncle Daddy, you gotta drop these drugs off at the club by 8, you know. And then, you know, Uncle Daddy, you know, he's coked out, you know, he's still holding on to that ego. He ain't trying to listen, you know. I don't know what kind. That's what I want to know. Like, Uncle Daddy ain't trying to go with nobody's plan, but he ain't got no plan to try to get his shit, you know, get the mafia back, you know, to how it was when he was running things. So I'm just wondering what he got up under his sleeve, because he is being defiant. Like, he's like, she done killed my wife, because Uncle Daddy is pissed. Uncle Daddy's like, she done killed my wife, she done kidnapped my grandkids, like my granddaughter. Like, you think I'm about to listen to shit that she got to say? So, you know, Desmond's like on some, see what happens when you didn't listen. Now, I suggest you listen, because you know, you ain't got and there's no other casualties around you pretty much if you fuck this up and don't do what Reva says. So after that whole little garage sale situation, we cut to Dean and Virginia. And Virginia, I think they're at Desmond's. I think she's just hanging out with Dean at Desmond's. That's what I think. Yeah, they had them orange ass walls. I think they're at Desmond's house. So Virginia comes out the bathroom. And Dean, like I said earlier, Dean is smarter than the average bear. So Dean picks up on it. He's like, yeah, you're basically probably around 6 to, I think he said like 4 to 7 weeks pregnant. She's like, how did you know? And he's like, you know, you've been having mood swings, you're throwing up, you've been complaining about sore breasts. Like, you know, he's smart. You know, I was just being patient, you know, but I know, basically, is what Dean's saying. I know. So after that little moment, we go to Desna, who is with the Haitian doctor at his house, and they over there blasting Cameo, and he's cooking her dinner. You know, it's a vibe. Like, they having a cute little night, a little couple night in, you know, having a good time. And in the midst of, you know, them talking, you know, she's talking about her plans and what her 5-year plan, because he's asking her about her 5-year plan. And even though, like, I know that he knows, I think he still does have feelings, because I'm like, you asking some real intimate questions. Like, you don't ask nobody shit like that. Like, what's your like, he's serious about her. I'd like to think, because, you know, he's asking her about her 5-year plan and what she's planning on doing with her future. You know, really trying to feel her out. You know, I'm like, if it was just him trying to, you know, bust her shit, like, you ain't got to do all of that. You ain't got to cook a bitch a meal, you know? So I think he really is feeling her a little bit. But in the midst of them cooking and, you know, dancing, they blasting Cameo, having a good time, the doctor gets a phone call. And so he steps out the room, you know, makes up a little excuse. I got to go talk to it's the hospital. I think he said it's the hospital. And so he steps outside, you know, the kitchen to go have, you know, the phone call. It's Uncle Daddy on the phone. So Uncle Daddy is going through the motions. He is going through the motions. He's like, look, what the fuck is we finna do? She's got me about to move her drugs out my shit. Like, what we about to do? Basically, like, he's ready to stop. He's tired of hiding in the bushes, you know, he's ready to pounce. He's ready to shut this shit all down. So the doctor tells him straight up, like, you know, this is an ugly game we playing. You just gotta stay, you know, play your part. Just play your part. Just wait, man. Wait a minute. So Uncle Daddy hangs up and gets back to his oil wrestling that he had going on with them little burly men up in the. He was watching some men. He had some boys up in the living room, not mud wrestling, but oil wrestling. So he gets back to that. So after their little discussion, we're at Reva's house next, and Reva's sister Zlata. Is it Zlata or Zlata? I think it's Zlata or Zlata. I'm gonna just call her Z for the time being until I get the pronunciation right. I don't want to butcher her name. So Reva's sister Z shows up. And it's clear that she's kind of like the black sheep of the family. Like, Z is Olga's mother. And Olga's kind of even looking at her like, oh my God, this bitch. Like, that's how, you know, that's the energy that Olga and Reva are giving Z. Like, when Z arrives, just like on some, oh my God, you know, just, you know how it is when you got a relative that pop up and it's just like, oh, this bitch, why she got to, who invited her? You know, so it's clear she's not really welcome. And basically, you know, she just comes by and she's like, you know, what's new? What's happening? You know, I'm working on my book. I guess she's got a book coming out about, I don't know if it's been published already or a book coming out, basically about how to be a top-notch mob boss. So, you know, she just kind of, you know, basically lets us know that she's kind of a wayward child in the family. So that's the glimpse that we get a little bit. And so then we have Polly and Ken having dinner at Polly's hotel with Marnie. And that is it was such a sweet little scene. Like, Polly made this little prison spread looking meal. That's what it looks like. But it looked like a prison spread. And, you know, Marnie's like on some, well, what is it? And she's like, just try it. It's good. So, you know, they're sitting there having their little casserole. And Marnie's like, yeah, it tastes like a burnt hamburger that's been chewed up already. So I just love that. I thought that was sweet. I love how they still got the little family dynamic going on, taking care of Marnie. That's sweet. So in the midst of their little family night, Polly gets a phone call from Reva. And Reva's basically saying how, you know, basically I've been trying to call Desna, because, you know, Desna's over at the doctor, you know, hanging out with the doctor, you know, the Haitian doctor. So she's, you know, not answering the phone. So Reva's like on some, she ain't answering the phone. You need to find out, you know, handle that. Figure out where she's at. Click. Ain't no call her back. No, you need to get off this phone and go figure out where she's at and go get her and bring her here, you know, bring her physically here. So after, you know, making her little excuse to, you know, excuse herself from Ken and Marnie, they, you know, so they can continue their evening, they head on to, she heads on over to the doctor. while they're, while she's, having dinner, and basically tells, Desna, like, yeah, we kind of got to go, and we got to go now. You know what I mean? That, I guess they said that, I think Reva said over the phone, like, management's being changed or something like that. So yeah, you need to get your ass on, get your ass up. Let's go to this nursing home. So we get to the nursing home. And, you go for, it's like a regular nursing home when they're first walking through it. They got the little elderly people sitting there playing bingo at the table. They got somebody's piano. It's a great, big, beautiful day. Like, I've been singing that shit for like 3 hours. Like, as soon as I heard that little clip on that scene, my ass was walking around last night. It's a great, big, beautiful day. Like, oh, that was like the most stereotypical nursing home type of song I think if I've ever heard one. But anyway, so they go to the back of the nursing home, and Reva got this shit set up like New Jack City. She got these little old ladies all in the back with no shirts on, with their little Hanes bras on, bagging up the coke, like portioning out the coke, putting them, however you, break down and bag up coke. They back there moving the weight, basically, like on some New Jack City shit. Like, I think if this show would have went down on HBO or Showtime, she probably would have had them in there with no bras, just ruthless, just old biddies hanging all out. But we on TNT, so that's probably why they got them. They had their little, orthopedic bras on and whatnot. So in the back, like while they're sitting there, Zlata ends up coming into the room while Reva's explaining deposits are not basically deposits ain't being made. Some ain't adding up. What's good? Zlata and Olga end up coming in. And so, they get introduced. Like she introduces Zlata to the crew and everything. And Zlata's sitting there trying to, she's trying to prove herself to her sister. Like, well, no, this is what we need to do with them. Basically she's like, I'm about to punish y'all asses because something ain't adding up. So Zlata's basically trying to throw suggestions out there, on some, well, in my book, I said such and, we should do such. So Reva snaps on her and is basically like on some, stay in your lane. Like, and out of nowhere, we get this dark ass music come on, and you got Zlata and Reva going at each other in Russian. And that shit was so sinister. Just that music that they had playing with just how their tone was when they were speaking Russian to each other. That shit gave me chills. It gave me chills. Basically, so we had captions, because I can't speak no Russian. But we did have captions to kind of follow along. So Zlata pretty much lets it be known, like, okay, you know what, she called her, you dry bitch, like, you done turned my daughter against me, this, that, and the third. And then Reva says to Zlata basically like on some, basically in essence, I didn't write down the whole dialogue, but basically what she basically said is when it comes down to it, like to me the situation, is that basically like you ain't fit to run this shit. You ain't never been nothing. You always got some little half-ass scheme in order to do something, and then like made fun of her book. I think the book was called, I forgot what it was called, but basically made fun of the title of her book and was like, basically like, you're trash, sis. Like, you're trash. You ain't got shit. You ain't got shit. You ain't never gonna be shit. Like, just basically let into Zlata. So Zlata pulls a gun out of her purse and aims it towards Desna. So at this point, Reva kind of gives her this look like, okay, I see. Okay, I might have underestimated you, bitch. So Zlata's, while she's got the gun pointed at Desna's, like on some, what we do basically with people who betray us. Like, we block off the neighborhood. We'll sell your kids to a brothel. We'll cut your limbs off until you, basically going on some cold-blooded murderer type shit. And was like, this is how we did it in Georgia, right, sister? Or something like that. And And Reva was like, basically, right. Sitting there impressed. Like, okay, my sister might have some heart. She might be able to do her thing. And then Zlata done hit a whole little switcheroo on a bitch on some, well, we're no longer in Georgia. Moves the gun from Desna to Reva and shot Reva point blank range and says, I choose land. Oh my God. When I tell y'all, I hollered at the TV. I hollered. I mean, I hollered because I was shook, but I hollered out of slight disappointment too, because Reba was a cold ass bitch. Like, as soon as Reba popped up on the scene in season 1, she damn near became my favorite character. I just love women that are cutthroat and ruthless and just, you know, grab you by the... I love ruthless women. I really do. So that kind of hurt to see. I'm like, no, not Reva. Not Reva. So after, you know, pretty much Reba got her ass popped at the nursing home, we cut back, you know, like the next day at the shop. And, you know, they're kind of filling in because the only ones that showed up at the nursing home was Desna, Polly, and Quiet Ann. I don't know where Jen and Virginia were, but they weren't there. So they're filling in Jen and Virginia what went down. And Polly is losing it. Losing it. Like, she's literally just not here. She's literally like, it took me all night to wash Reba's brain matter out of my hair. Like, she's basically going whoo-hoo. And so she's basically on some, I can't do this anymore. I just got my tennis bracelet off. Like, Polly ain't trying to go back. Like, Polly ain't about to go back. Especially for a murder charge, she ain't going back. So they end up, you know, all the girls end up surrounding her and calming her down, which I love seeing those sweet moments where they, like, you know, confide in one another and comfort one another. Because, you know, even with all the drama and stuff, it's still sisterhood overall. And I love seeing that. We don't see that too often in our TV shows nowadays. So they're trying to calm her down. And I know I shouldn't have wrote this down. It's such a little small ass line, but that shit was hilarious. When Virginia told Polly while they were calming her, trying to calm her down from her panic attack, and she said, think of something really white. And the shit worked. I think they told her something like, Polly, imagine you're in the, you know, I think they said like the Hamptons and all of the Kennedys are there, even the shitty ones. Like, they pretty much calmed her down by making it sound like she was at some little bougie, like upper class party. And then next thing you know, Polly was right as rain. And just blocked all that out. That's why I said I need to know more about Polly. I really want to know more about Polly. She's got a story to tell. So at this point, Slapta ends up coming in. And Slapta basically lets Desna know, you know, because everybody else is shook. Because it's like, we already know, like, you popping bitches. So we scared. So Reba's like, you know, I never would have killed you. I basically needed a distraction, you know, from my sister. And basically was like, you know, is it just me, or am I the only one who felt like the way Slapta was talking to Desna, it was like a pimp trying to groom a prospect? You know what I mean? Like on some, you know, I see myself in you and you're a boss bitch. Like, it just seemed like she was trying to groom, like butter Desna up, you know? Because I just feel like, I don't know. Because I felt like after we saw Reva get shot, I was thinking, okay, I'm sad Reva gone, but I'm ready to see what this bitch about to do. Because if you could pop your sister, that means you a cold bitch. You a cold bitch. But as we see from this conversation that goes on the next day in the nail salon, bitch is Looney Tune. Bitch is Looney fucking Tune. Because she basically says, you know, well, first of all, she just gives them advance money, you know, for really much nothing. I mean, I get it. You trying to buy your client, you know, buy your people to work for you, but they ain't did nothing. You already throwing money away. Money that already ain't being seen, already ain't being made, and then you throwing more money away. So there's that, and, you know, she's basically on some, you know, while she's giving them the advance, you know, giving each girl an envelope with money, she's basically on some, you know, who run the world? Trying to be on some, you know, we too